the two-hand hammer. Dan scoops and scores with 2.7 to go in the pit. Melly rips it with a right hand. The fans can feel it now. It's a Lobo celebration in Vegas.
This is the Lobo Pod with the voice of the Lobos, Robert Portnoy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into our third edition of Lobo Basketball on your Lobo Pod. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy. I am so excited to welcome in a second-year Lobo going into his fifth year of college basketball. A standout New Mexico Lobo, Mustapha Amzil, is with us. Staff, how you doing, man? It's good to see you.
I'm good. Glad to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Let's start with the summer. How's the summer going for you so far?
Going good. I had a little break after the season. Went home. Been back for a little bit now in the gym every day, working on it with the team. It's been good.
So back home to Finland?
Yeah, back home to Finland, then went to Morocco for a little bit.
Okay, so let's start with that then. And I want to get into the Mountain West tournament because you guys won a championship, and I know how pumped you were about that. But it's kind of cool that your background. You've got Morocco, Africa over here. You've got Finland over here. Tell the fans about that with Dad and Mom.
Yeah, so I was born in Finland. My mom is Finnish, born Finnish, and my dad's from Morocco. So that's where I get my Moroccan side from.
And Dad came from Morocco to Finland?
Yeah, he came after work, trying to find a better life. He came from, they lived in the mountains. They had to carry the water to the house to be able to drink. So it was, rough upbringing, but, his stories and everything he taught me, made me the man I am today. So
some serious strength, I would imagine, from your dad.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But he provided me the chance to chase my dreams. He moved to Finland, got better job, and it's been great.
So he meets Mom in Finland, and you've got a big family, right?
Yeah. My dad's side is huge. My mom's side is I have three siblings, my mom and dad, grandma. But my dad's side, I have hundreds of cousins in Morocco. So yeah.
What is it like when you go back to Morocco and see your dad's home?
It's awesome. It's nice. It's opposite of Finland. It's kind of like the weather in New Mexico a little bit, but it's on the coast by the water, so there's the wind. But I like it a lot. It feels like home.
So you've got the coast in Finland too, right? Aren't you on the southern coast of Finland?
Yeah, on the southern coast of Finland, but it's in the north, so it's a little bit colder.
A little bit different temperature, I would imagine. Huh?
Yeah.
Gosh, great stuff. We'll circle back to that for sure. But I wanted to talk about the Mountain West tournament because I can remember you told me, and I think you pretty much told everybody, that one of the main reasons you came to New Mexico to finish out your college career was to win a championship. Do you remember telling us that?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you got a chance to do that. I mean, let's start with that. First off, in the Mountain West tournament, you had a tremendous game against Colorado State. And obviously that was a big part of the Lobos' run, 4 games in 4 days. What was this experience like, going to Vegas and winning the tournament and this, performance you had against CSU, 3 block shots, a career high. You knocked down a couple of triples. I mean, those last 3 games, Colorado State, Boise State, San Diego State, it was just a meat grinder.
Yeah, it was tough. All those back-to-back games, it just, showed the toughness of our team. And it's awesome. First championship in, a real championship in college. We became who we are, and, we became what we practiced on. It was a great feeling.
What was it like cutting down the nets in Vegas?
It was awesome. It's hard to explain. You gotta feel it to experience it. But it was awesome to see all the Lobo fans there. It was just like a huge party.
3 years at Dayton, the team was really good. You had a lot of success, but no championships.
Yeah.
And you got it done here in Albuquerque, like a fulfillment of a lifelong dream.
Yeah, it was definitely something I was dreaming of coming to college, cutting down the net. So it was awesome.
An awesome time for everybody, and those fans, those Lobo fans, you mentioned them. Did you imagine you'd ever see anything like what that court looked like when you guys were, climbing the ladder and cutting down the net?
I seen it from different perspectives. So, I fell short in Dayton in the championship game. So, it was just that moment. I remembered how I felt, before, and the feeling I had when we won it. So it's a blessing.
A blessing for sure. And you know what? The way that the season played out, at the beginning of the year, I know there were some doubts. Like it wasn't going well for you at the start of the year. And I think you hit an early 3 at St. Mary's in the regular season. And then you went 8 games without a 3 after that. And there had to be some, some frustration during that period.
Yeah, definitely. It's big part of my game, making shots, making 3-point shots. So when it's not going that way, it was just I had to find ways to help the team and in different ways than making threes. And I knew I was going to end up making them at some point because that's what I do every day in practice in the gym by myself. So I kept shooting because that's the only way. You miss every shot you don't take, So I just had confidence in myself. Coaches had confidence in me, my teammates. So I kept shooting and it started to fall at some point.
How do you maintain that confidence? I mean, there were 17 shots there over 8 games from 3 that didn't go in, but you never wavered.
Yeah, it's just the daily work I put in, how much I believe in myself. I know how good I am, so it's just the support of the teammates and coaches. Just everyday work, I'd say. Everyday work breaks the doubt.
There probably were some moments of reflection, and you didn't play in that game against New Mexico State when it was not going well.
Yeah.
Who did you talk to, and how did you get through? Because, boy, it started with the following game after that against Irvine. You finally got to see one go in.
Yeah, I like to keep stuff to myself, but my teammates helped me a lot. Coaches trying to help me a lot, my family. But it's just the belief in yourself. Even though I had the first DMP in my career here, so it was just I knew that only way is up. Only way is up is just had to work for it.
Okay, so take us to the UC Irvine game.
Yeah.
You'd missed a couple earlier in the game, and then you get one later in the game, and this one didn't look like it was going in either.
Yeah. I seen the bounce. I said, "Oh, is it going in?" And it went in. It was like all the weights just dropped off my shoulders. It was crazy.
What was the feeling like as you were walking back up court there? It kind of looked like there was some relief.
Yeah, it was relief. I didn't know whether to celebrate or whether to just walk back because one 3 in 8 games is crazy. But it was this relief. I was like, okay, now the bank is open.
The bank is open. And seriously, you could feel kind of a little bit of a weight lift.
Yeah, definitely. It's just, everybody anticipating when I'm going to make one. I know it. I don't take too much pressure of it, but it's just, in the air. You can see it when I shoot the ball. Everybody, was like, he made it. Finally.
So the weight's lifted.
Yeah.
And you started to get it going. And it wasn't but just a couple of weeks later, the basket's opening up for you. San Diego State comes to Albuquerque. They're ranked 19th in the nation. What was that night like? Because you really started to get it going in that game against the Aztecs.
I remember watching the previous year, San Diego State making a run in the March Madness. And I was like, yeah, it would be nice to play a team like that. And I had the chance. They was ranked. That time I knew our team was good, at least as good enough as them. So if we play our game, they play their game, we going to beat them. It was just, those are the games you wanna play. Sold out crowd, great atmosphere, and a good team on TV. So it's just like, lights are on. It's time to perform.
Well, huge game against San Diego State. You guys take down a nationally ranked team and come right back the very next game, and the Lobos now have number 16 Utah State coming into Albuquerque and a chance to beat ranked opponents in consecutive games in the pit. That's an amazing stretch of basketball.
Yeah, so we was like, yeah, we got to break this. There's no way they come in here and keep going on like that. And all the, fans in the pit, it's just hard to play for the other team. It just gives us, a little bit of more energy. When you're tired and you hear all the fans cheering, it just gives you that one more step, So it was just great team play from everybody, and we was the better team that night.
What's the feeling like when you get it going? We talked earlier about, you rely on your confidence, the work that you put in to get you through adversity. And you had, 8 games where you didn't make a 3.
Yeah.
Give us, most of us will never know what it's like to be in front of 15,000 and make shots and hear the crowd and feel it. And I don't know, it almost feels like out of body kind of the experience. Looking at it from the outside, what is that feeling like when you start to get in a little bit of a zone and the basket opens up and the crowd's going crazy?
For everybody, it's probably different, but for me, it's like when I grew up, my dad made a hoop outside of my house, so I would go always just get shots up. And for me, when I get in that flow, I just know, like, I feel like nobody can stop me, and it's like I'm in my yard like I was growing up, and just shoot the ball. Every shot I take, just make. So it's just makes it brings me back to my youth. My growing up, just making it comfortable, because I've been playing this game for a long time. So every time the ball and the hoop is the same, it's just a different crowd, different atmosphere.
It sounds like you have the feeling of how fun it was when you were a kid. Is that it?
Yeah, definitely. It was just every time, even though, it's more of a work right now, as a kid, it was a hobby. I was not getting paid for anything. I had to pay to play. So I was still every day outside with my friends, just getting the ball up.
You mentioned your dad. He played soccer, though, right?
He played street soccer growing up in Morocco, not like organized, but playing on the streets, put 2 rocks as goals, and whenever a car drives, you got to move the rocks and stuff like that.
He taught you how to play soccer, I would guess.
Yeah, I started playing soccer before basketball. I was young when I started. I played 7 years of soccer in Finland.
How little were you when you started soccer? Do you remember?
I was like 3, 4, like really young. It's Morocco is soccer country. They finished last World Cup. They finished 4th. So it's like number 1 is soccer, number 2 is soccer, number 3 is soccer. So he put the soccer cleats on my feet when I was born.
So are you watching the soccer right now? I mean, the Euros are going on. Copa. Are you watching all that?
Euro. Yeah, I watch Euro Cup a little bit. It's hard, different times, but it's something I follow still. Is
there a footballer, from your youth maybe, or maybe a guy now, or is there a club that you love to watch, or who are you following?
Ever since I was a kid, I was Messi and FC Barcelona. That was I watched them like a lot. But then when I got on the basketball, it was a little bit less watching soccer. But I'll be trying to keep my eye on it, and it's just fun to watch and fun to play. So
Messi was the soccer hero. Let's shift to hoop. So give me the progression. Like, you're a little guy. You get into basketball. You're first grader?
Yeah,
something like
first
that?
grader, 7 years old.
Yep. Who were the heroes back then?
LeBron James. I remember I started really following NBA, because in the beginning I see on the news, and because I can't see it on TV, the games are going at 4 a.m. So I just seen LeBron James in Miami Heat, and Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, all them. So I was like, damn, they're really good. So that's when I started to follow LeBron James. That's my number 1. When
did you get your growth spurt? Because obviously at some point at your height, soccer, it's like, okay, you're going to be a goalkeeper, or maybe not so much soccer. But when did you sprout up and realize, gosh, basketball might be the better fit?
It was like in the middle school. I was playing soccer and basketball, and I was a lot taller. Like when I was young, really young, I wasn't taller than everybody. But then I started growing. I was like the second tallest in my class, and I was between. I'm very tall, so it's hard to keep up, because I play left midfield. I have to run the whole game and keep up with all the short, quick guys. So it was a little difficult, but then it came up to the time of practices being.
I bet they brought you up for the set pieces though, right?
Yeah.
Anything near the goal?
Yeah,
you were in the middle, right?
I tried to hit the header. Yeah. But I had practice same time as I had soccer practice, so then it was like time for me to choose which one I want, and I said basketball.
Basketball has worked out pretty well for you, I'd have to say. It turns out you've got a basketball playing family with both a sister and a brother, right?
Yeah, sister plays at University of Detroit Mercy, and brother plays in Helsinki, in Finland.
Sister just finished this past season at Detroit Mercy. Is she going to play another season coming up?
She has one more year.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
And little bro's getting pretty good, right?
Yeah, he's in high school still. He got one more year, and he hit the growth spurt. He's like 6'7" right now. Very good player, getting better every day.
So he's going to follow in Staff's footsteps,
Yeah,
perhaps?
yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal for him. It's just funny when I don't see them for a long time, and then I go home and I'm like, oh, you're already 6'6", 6'7". When I left, he was like 6'4", 6'3", you know. It's crazy to see the progress.
Wow. So he's growing that fast. Like you could see the difference just from being gone for several months and then going back. And
yeah, it's just like him having low definition of muscles, and he thinks he's a big guy right now. But because when I left, he had little chubby arms, that kid arms, and it's just funny.
Okay, so Latifa is the basketball player. I know you have two sisters. Does Safia play sports too, or? She
played as a younger, but not really right now. She's more of an artistic person.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Did you ever? I'm guessing you probably did battle with Latifa, or did you help her develop her game, or did you ever get her on the court? Did you guys work out together at all?
Definitely. Growing up, we had that basketball hoop. She would beat me like a lot of times. We had this funny clip. She drove past me and she went for a layup, and I just pushed her on her back.
You knocked her down?
Because I got mad. I kept losing to her. And then we would play 2-on-2 games with me and my mom and my dad and my sister. And when my brother was still young, he wouldn't play with us. But it was fun. That's where I was like, oh, I can get buckets, because I was getting buckets on them.
Well, now your brother Abdullah is 6'7", you said?
Yeah, 6'7".
Yeah. So when you go home, some battles?
Yeah, definitely. He on the court, off the court, he think he can take me wrestling, and on the basketball court, I try to play some pickup with them, his team, and it's a lot of fun.
His team in Europe just won an under-20 title, his EYBL team. I mean, he's really coming along, isn't he?
Yeah. They have a good team. They have some games in the U.S. coming up in Jersey and Pennsylvania, so it's just exciting for me to follow it.
Did I see where you had a chance a couple of years ago when you were at Dayton? He came over for a tournament that was actually in Dayton, and you got to see him. Is that true?
Yeah, I got to see him a little bit. And funny thing is, in that tournament, they played against True Washington.
No kidding.
Yeah.
They played True's team.
They did, but I didn't see it. I had practice or something going on, but I saw one different game. Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. Well, it sounds like you've helped him a ton, I would imagine. Has he sought advice from you? And you must have been working him out from the time he started to play.
Yeah, I try to help him a lot. My mom and dad, definitely my dad loves to give advice. So then sometimes he'd be asking me advice, and I try to help him because I've been through everything growing up, and just try to make him a better player. Just some stuff, I can't help him too much. I gotta still let him know he sucks,
Is your dad Brahim? Is he hard on you guys? Is he supportive? Is he all of the above? How does he teach you? How does he work with you?
It's kind of like my mom and dad are opposites. My mom is very supportive, tries to bring up the good things of the game, and then my dad said, "Oh, why didn't you go rebound harder?" or "Why was you scared to drive?" and stuff like that. So it's a good mix of both when I get home.
There was a terrific game for you guys on the road, a huge opportunity at the end of the season, and it was a chance to spoil a party for Utah State. What a battle it was. I can remember something you said very early on about how on the road, when you play on the road back home, the crowds are pretty tough on you.
Yeah.
The visiting crowd, do they heckle you? They're loud. What is it like back in Europe?
It's just when you play at the higher levels, like pro levels, it's just like more of a religion to some fans rather than a sport. So I played when my first pro game was when I turned 16. Played a couple games. It was a little bit different. Basketball is not as big in Finland, so we didn't have like the huge crowds. But like if you go somewhere like Serbia, where Filip and Jovan is from, then it's get a little bit crazier.
Okay, so, but that prepared you.
Definitely.
And the environment at Utah State there at the end of the year,
Yeah.
they're nationally ranked. They're trying to win the conference championship. You had an unbelievable game against the Aggies. I know the Lobos didn't come out on top, but it was a phenomenal game, and it kind of felt like you were inspired in that game.
Yeah. I was like, this is the last game. Mash is out. Whoever else was out, but we had to take this win. No matter what. And I just felt like myself. Felt that feeling again. Like nobody can stop me. And I stopped in and made some shots. Tried to help the team.
Are you one of those guys that feeds off the crowd a little bit? If you're on the road and get that the negative energy, can you kind of turn that and use that to your advantage?
Yeah, definitely. I embrace it. I love it. I don't like crowds that are quiet. I might not talk to the crowd like House does, like being crazy, but it's just like something I love playing in front of.
The shot that you made against Nevada on the road when the Lobos were trying to sweep the Wolfpack. You guys had just boat raced them in Albuquerque. And this was a terrific game as well. The Lobos had not won in Reno in forever. And, there you're kind of looking back to your own bench, but they got it going, and you hit a shot. They had run off 11 straight, and it was inside 4 minutes, and you hit a shot, and you put your finger up to your mouth, quiet the crowd. It feels like you love the big moment.
Yeah, that's the dream. I dream of when I was a kid. I was like, when I play in front of big crowds, that's something everybody wants. So I don't want to, lose any confidence or anything when it's big moment. Best players make shots when it matters. So that's what I'm trying to be.
What was it like beating Nevada at their place? I mean, winning in front of the home crowd is one thing, and feeling the energy of the home crowd, but to quiet them and win that game, and how confident were you that Mash was going to knock down those shots?
It was a lot of fun. I remember because there was this thing that Lobos didn't beat Nevada in a while, in many years, and then we beat them at home, and then I think I seen some student or something. We had the conversation that it's hard to beat this team twice. We haven't beat them. We beat them once, so it might be lucky. And I said, nah, it's not no luck. Like we got the better team. And then we went in and beat them. And Mash had that great moment. I remember he was a little bit down on himself. Like in that period of time, he wasn't playing like he wanted to. So it was just great seeing him, make those shots, because I know he's a good guy, a good player. So I'm happy for him.
Picking each other up. You talked about how your teams helped you through your struggles at the beginning of the year, and whether it was Mash or House, Donnie, all the top guys on the team, everybody goes through a struggle here and there. It felt like the way that you guys supported each other last season was a huge reason why you guys were able to get it done in Vegas.
Yeah, I think it was just of all the good, like we have a lot of good players on that team. So just coming together and knowing everybody's role and doing the right plays, right thing, playing hard, that was just like the pinnacle of our season in Vegas.
Going to the NCAAs to get your first opportunity to do that, to play in the NCAA tournament, what was that experience like for you?
It was good to be. It was nice to hear our team's name on the selection Sunday. And it was disappointing to lose that way, to go out, but that just made me more hungry. I seen it now. I've been there. We got a good team this year. I'm just trying to run it back and go as deep as we can.
Pretty cool to see the satisfaction of the fan base. You guys are sitting there on the pit floor on Bob King Court, and the whole stands behind you packed all the way to the top. That lower bowl is packed completely for the selection show. The satisfaction of coming home from Vegas, knowing that you're going to the tournament, just waiting to hear your name called. Is that kind of what you imagined it would be like, or was it even better?
It was a lot better, because when we got to the airport, there was just a lot of fans at the airport already. I was like, yeah, damn, this means a lot to the city. All the support they give us, we trying to give it back, be successful, and just bring happiness to people. reason to, come off like their everyday life and just have some fun, watch us play. So that's the goal. It was just a nice experience, and I appreciate all the fans.
Well, they sure appreciate you, and they appreciated the run that you guys went on. And, it had been a long time, and it was such an impressive performance. And nobody had ever done that in Vegas, win 4 straight games to win the Mountain West tournament. You guys made history, literally made history. What about this year's team, the 24-25 Lobos, and how different it looks with all the size on the team and the front court? I mean, you might actually not have to play the 5.
Yeah.
What's it been like, the first opportunity to get on the court with these guys?
It's been, teaching, a lot of teaching moments. We have a lot of new guys, some freshmen, some transfers. It's just, bringing the team together, running the sets, and just knowing how to play with each other. But I can already tell it's a lot different than last year. We got some good guys, we got some good players, so it's gonna be a lot of, we had some games last year we a little bit lost in size, but I don't think that's gonna be the case this year. We just gotta play hard and play together.
Different being on a team where you're not one of the 2 or 3 biggest guys, that you're looking around and that there are more bigs than there are smalls now on this team.
Yeah. That's how it is. I love to compete, so I love having all these guys at the same position, for example, or playing a little bit the same way. We have new guys from all over the world, so it's just nice to see everybody's skill set working together.
You make a great point. There is a real international flavor to this team, adding to some from a year ago, but that's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cool. I had one of those teams back a day, and I think it's good for some of the American teammates too to see how people are from all over the country and all over the world, and just bringing their own culture, own behavior, and just getting along with each other. I think it's a lot of good teaching moments for everybody, for me, for anyone on this team.
You've been all over the world. If you had to estimate now, how many countries do you think you've been to?
Probably, I'd say 25-ish, somewhere there.
That's amazing. What are some of the coolest places you've been? In fact, let me ask this, and then I'd love to hear about some of the other places you've been. But last summer, you were in China for the World University Games. You played fantastic, by the way, for Finland. What was that experience like, and being in China, and just tell about traveling the world?
It was nice. It was first time in Asia for me. So China being, like the eastern side of kind of comparable to USA, like a big nation, and the culture there is way different. It was a lot of fun. It's sometimes hard, in China people didn't really speak English that well, and they have their own app store and all the apps, so I wouldn't be able to order Uber if I wanted to go to the mall. They had the Chinese version of it, so I would have to go on the street and just put my thumb up and wait for a taxi to stop, and then I had to figure out how to talk about the price for the taxi, and then we went there, and it was raining. I remember one day we was like, oh, there's no taxis right now. We was standing in the rain for 30 minutes just waiting for one.
What were you trying to get to on that particular day?
We was at the mall, because we went to the mall. There was good food spots and stores and everything. So we went to the mall, and now we're trying to go back, and we have curfew time as a team to be in the Olympic Village, and we're like, damn, we can't get a taxi. But then sometimes there was people who would come up and help us, order a taxi. It was a lot of fun.
You made it back for curfew?
Yeah, we did. I'm glad.
You guys had success there too as a team. I mean, in a really close loss, right? What, quarterfinals?
Yeah. Well, I think it was. Yeah, we finished in top 6, so it was the
fifth. You finished fifth.
We was 5th. So it was, I think, the best Finland has ever done in those games. So it was a great experience. Fantastic.
What are some of the other spots on your travels over the years that stand out for you? Some cool places that you've been?
Bahamas was exotic. I was there I've been there 3 times actually. Morocco, I like Morocco a lot. I like Germany. I've been all over Europe, everywhere, like Czech Republic, Poland. It's just nice to see how people live in different countries, different cultures, different languages. It's just something that I feel like makes me a better person, understanding the world and understanding some kind of stuff that goes in here. I'd be like, oh, I've been there. Like it's even more relatable.
Give us a window into what it was like, say, a day in the life, southern coast of Finland, 12-year-old Mustapha Amzil. What did it look like? What was the upbringing like? What are the things that you did with your buddies? How did that look?
I would wake up. I would never set an alarm. My mom would always wake me up. If she didn't wake me up, I would not leave the bed.
She was your alarm.
Yeah, she was my alarm. She would have to come and wake me up and come and wake me up again. And then I would just eat some breakfast my mom made me before she went to work. I would usually, at 12, I walked to school. I had school pretty close to me, but that's the worst part because I was like, yeah, I can walk there in 1 minute. So I would always be late because...
Took longer than 1 minute.
Yeah, took longer than 1 minute, but I would go to school, then go home, eat something real quick. A lot of times take a bike to practice, or if it was a little bit further away, my mom or dad would drop me, whoever had time after work, because they had my older sister practice too, where they had to take one, and my younger brother's practice. And at that time, I think my younger sister was playing basketball still. And it was just a lot of hectic times. But I would have practice, come back home, eat something, shower, go outside, see. We had this basketball court close by to my house. I would always walk to like behind this, come around the corner of this house, and see if anybody was at the basketball court, so I can go play. If nobody was there, I would just come back home, get some shots up at the hoop by my house, and then I would just, at some point there's people there, so I would go play basketball. It's just
so even after practice,
yeah.
You're looking for more hoop.
Yeah, I would do it with my friends like 24/7, literally. Like my mom would call me, come eat. I would go eat and go outside again. I just love doing sports. We would play soccer field right there. So it was just I was always outside.
Are you on that court as a kid? Duplicating LeBron James' moves?
Yeah, LeBron James. Yeah, we had this pro team where I ended up playing a couple games when I was 16. But when I was young, I would always go watch. I had the season card for the team my mom and dad bought me. So I would be in every home game like early with my friends. Just watch the guys warm up and watch the game. I remember we had like 4 Americans on the team, and the rest were like Finnish players. And I tried to, be like, oh, they're from America, like they're nice. They came from college and stuff, so I tried to replicate what they do. And then sometimes go home, watch YouTube of NBA games, because I couldn't stay up until 4 a.m. to watch the games on live. And it was a lot of basketball.
Who were some of your local heroes? One of your high school coaches was Hanno Metala, right? The star for the Utah Utes. They went all the way to the title game. Lauri Markkanen, right? I mean, who are these some guys that you watched, over the years? What about that?
I watched a little bit Hanno, but not really. He played the 5-man, so I didn't really want to play the 5-man.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Lauri is something. I got a little bit older. He made it to the league. He played at Arizona, so I watched his games a lot. Tried to pick something up. But I would watch LeBron James. I would watch Petteri Koponen. He actually got drafted by Dallas Mavericks. He played in Europe for a long time. And then we had some local players. I remember Timothy Blue. He played for my hometown team. Watch him. He had a nice fadeaway. It's just a lot of different things I tried to take from different players.
So you kind of grabbed his fadeaway and tried to put it into your game. Is there a trainer, a coach, a mentor, someone in your basketball life or just in your life that you want to give a shout out that was had a really big hand in helping you develop as a player and person?
Yeah, when I started basketball, I had my head coach was Antti, and the assistant coach was Taneli. And Antti was just, great basketball mind. He knew what to do. He would always come he was always go like once a year to America and bring us what's that gum, juicy fruits.
Yes.
Yeah, he would always, I was like, I got an American gum, and I just had to pack for a little bit. I had to take one a week or something, but it was
To make it last.
Yeah, make it last. But he was a great coach. He taught me like positionless basketball. That's how I feel like I started to get my skills, because I would be point guard sometimes and be the tallest on the team, and just I didn't even understand it at the time. I was like, I'm the tallest on the team. Why I'm playing point guard? But he said, yeah, that's the future of basketball. And Taneli was, he was like, he was really good ball handling the ball. So he would always show us tricks and say like, you can't do this, you can't do this. And of course that made me want to do it and learn the tricks and all that. So I give a shout out to those two guys.
So that's where the handles come from, and the ability to face the basket and put it on the wood and get to the rim.
Yeah.
That's great stuff. What do you think? I know it's very early, and you guys haven't been on the court very long together. But what are the prospects for this year's Lobos for the upcoming season?
Like the good players.
Yeah. What do you think this team can do?
I think we can run it even further than we did last year. I think we have the pieces to play like different kind of basketball. We can go a little bit smaller. We can go bigger, and we have a lot of good shooters. I think it's just the sky is the limit. I'd say I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Well, this has been awesome talking with you, Staff. I appreciate you spending time with us. Can't wait to see the new edition of the Lobos. And as a last question, this is your last rodeo. This is your final year of college basketball. Are you excited about it? Is it make you a little sad knowing that it's coming to an end? All of the above.
It's happened quick. I remember being a freshman coming out of high school, middle of the season, getting to my first game after 3 practices, and from that point to here, it's just been fast paced. Everything happens quick, but I'm happy. I'm ready to move on to playing the pros, and I'm grateful. I wanted this year to be the best year I had so far as individual, as a team. So I'm excited.
Best of luck in your final ride.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Mustapha Amzil on the Lobo Pod.
The Lobo Pod is a production of UNM Athletics.